Today on Inside the Content, we have a very special guest. We'll be going over their childhood, their content creation journey, and where they currently are right now. Without further ado, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is T, but my alias is LegendOfTi. I'm currently training to powerlift. I'm also a dancer. I'm a content creator, and newly partnered on Twitch.
Yeah, let's get it. Always love to see someone get partnered for their hard work and dedication. You know me, I went through a
hmm
lot of denials when I was going for my push. So my question to you before we even get started was, were you applying in silence or were you letting people know? And when did you apply? So if you could, please let us know about that first. Yeah.
the first time I was able to actually apply was when MW3 first came out during like all the drops and everything that you can get. Um, and that's when I made the announcement I was able to apply, but I didn't realize I was able to apply like 10 until like 10 days later and when I got the notification. So that kind of messed things up for me a little bit because I guarantee if I was able to apply like when I got the notification, I was able to probably get it at the time, which was back in November 2023. I would announce when I did apply, like in my Discord or like whenever I went live on stream, but not necessarily on Twitter as much, just because I feel like Twitter or like, I don't know, I feel like people are on this bandwagon of people applying for Twitch partnership on Twitter. And I don't know why they kind of bash people about it just because like, oh, what are the benefits of like Twitch partnership? Like, what's the point type thing? But I feel like there's also like a lot of fake love on there too. And they kind of just like they say that they support you, but they really don't. So that's why I only tell people that I apply to the people who like come to like my streams and also my Discord, because those are like the closest I can be with my community is through those two pretty much those two like websites essentially, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense. I know I was able to see you post about it on Twitter, I believe, where you posted about getting denied, and you were still motivated, you still were encouraged, and you still sounded like, hey, I want to do this, and let's do this, y'all. We gonna win. We just got to keep pushing. And I was like, okay, I see you. So I knew from that point on, I definitely wanted to get into your streams. If I could talk, then I would talk. You know what I mean? But I definitely wanted to make sure that every time you went live, I was in there. I was able to leave you a lurk or whatever I could do, join the Discord. However I could support you in that time of your push, I wanted to do.
I appreciate that. Thank you. That means a lot. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah. Most definitely, most definitely. No problem at all. I always want you to be successful, from one content creator to another one. So let's go ahead and dive into it. But super duper happy that you did get partnered. But to start it off, where are you from?
Born and raised in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. Right now it's really, really hot, so I'm just staying indoors as much as I can.
Yeah, I bet you are. AZ hot as hell. Texas hot as hell. Does it get humid there though, like how I do here?
um, it can get humid. Like legit, last week it was really bad with humidity. Like it was like over 100 degrees with the humidity too, and that is probably like the worst combo you could ever have. Um, but I don't think it's like it doesn't get like humid like in Texas or like the East Coast or anything like that. But it can get humid, but it's mainly dry heat.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. See, Texas weather is just nasty, funky, sweaty,
Mhm.
dirty, whatever you want to call it, right? But on the better things, Legend of Ti, what made you come up with that name?
I've actually came up with the name when I remember I think I was like a sophomore in high school, and I absolutely love Legend of Zelda. That's legit like my childhood game. Like if I start playing like Breath of the Wild right now, I'll probably start crying because how much I love Legend of Zelda and how much of like a sentimental game it is to me. I don't know why. I think we all have that video game that makes us like all emotional because we all played it during like our childhood. But I just remember like being in psychology class, and I think it was sophomore or junior year, and I'm just like sitting there like just trying to figure out, okay, what would be the best like YouTube name or like Twitch name, or what would be like the best like username for me that kind of expresses like who I am as a person, but also kind of relates to gaming in a sense, like what my favorite video game is. So, I did T because it's a TI because it's the first two letters of my actual government name, and then I did Legend of, which is from Legend of Zelda, and I would even like ask my friends like, oh, does this look cool? Like, does this look cool or does this sound cool? And the people that I did ask, like when I was in high school, I think they were pretty open-minded about it because they knew like, what Twitch was, they knew what YouTube was, and like all that fun stuff too. They're like, oh yeah, I like that name actually. Like, then they kind of like went with it too, which is really nice. But that's kind of like the origin of it. And just being, legendary every day as much as I can be, just, whatever time I have, be legend and make of it, you know what I mean? So I don't know. That's kind of like where I went with it.
Yeah, from one legend to another legend. I know exactly what you mean. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, yeah, I know for me, when I first started gaming, it was like way, way back. This stuff is, I used to go by Let's Play Lucas. LG Legendary came like when I really, really got
Right.
into content creation,
Mm-hmm.
when I got serious about it. So for me, I want to ask you a question because I started back when Twitch wasn't even a thing. It was what? JTV or something like that. I
Yeah.
think it was
Justin TV,
called.
right?
Yeah. It was called Justin .tv. So my question to you is, when did you get into gaming, and has this always been your path? You know what I mean? So let me know when you got into gaming and what started it, I guess.
No, I've always been gaming as a kid because I grew up with two other brothers. I think the first console that quote unquote I had was, I think it was a PS1. It was over at my dad's house, and also had the GameCube. So I've always grew up watching my brother play video games. I grew up watching my brother play Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and like Wind Waker and like Twilight Princess, and like also Sonic the Hedgehog growing up. A lot of Sonic the Hedgehog because my brother was in love with that series and just in love with him. Like and like Dragon Ball Z and all that fun stuff too. Super Smash Brothers. Like we would play that for hours growing up. And I remember really watching a lot of like Vanoss Gaming or Captain Sparkles or like Nate Shot when they did like the whole like Minecraft series back in the day with like OMG Firefox. And if you know that's like an OG like series that people probably watched a lot back in the day. And OMG It's Firefox was one of the inspirations because she was a girl and that wanted me to start like really doing content stuff and everything like that growing up. I remember when I was in middle school, this was back in like 2000 like 10 or like 9. I went into my room, I had my camera and I tried to do like this intro for like YouTube. Obviously I didn't do it. Like I recorded it, but obviously I didn't upload it. But like that content creation and like that spark of it has always been there ever since like I was a kid. And then just growing up and like watching like Vanoss and H2O Delirious. Basically I do work. That really just constantly watched the videos like really sparked more of a love and interest of doing content creation. And then I remember November 2015 when Fallout 4 came out. That's when I quote unquote started streaming. That was the end. That was like the first half of my senior year, because I graduated in 2016. So I first started streaming, quote unquote streaming when Fallout 4 came out. But obviously I couldn't really go into it too much because the relationship I was in at the time, and then also what's it called? And then also, working part-time, being on the dance team, and also school all at the same time was just, I couldn't do it. Obviously, it was just too much. So I waited until I graduated high school. Like I had like this whole idea in my head of just starting to do it when I first graduated high school. And I think May of 2016, after the day I graduated, I spoiled myself and I went to go buy Overwatch, the first Overwatch when it first came out, and that was the official like first game that I like really started streaming and started like really getting into it straight off my console. So my PlayStation that's still on my dresser over here to my right. That was the first time like well not the first, but that's when I actually got into it and that I wanted to do it. That's why I wanted to like really persevere. I had a PlayStation 4 camera. I had a shitty ass laptop to like read my freaking chat off of. And like I also had the way obviously I got my PlayStation, I worked my ass off at my little job. I worked at Burger King. That was my first job right down the street from my house. I could walk there. I didn't have a car at the time. And I saved up as much money as I could to get my PlayStation because I had a dream that I wanted to do this shit and I did it, you know. I just got goosebumps just like thinking about that. Oh my gosh, like wow. Just thinking about that. Holy shit. Oh wow, just whew, wow, that's just wow. So it all just started from that. So yeah.
Awesome. That is real cool though. It's also cool when we go down memory lane and we look at who we were and what we became now to this day, and we just see that growth and everything that we went through that made us who we are. So I know for me personally, like, you know, this is where the age is gonna come in. I'm about to start talking crazy. I know for me, I was starting off on like the Super Nintendo playing games like Super Mario Brothers. We had Lion King, GoldenEye. I know on PlayStation I was playing like Final Fantasy games and the original PlayStation. The original PlayStation. I had the GameCube, the Wii Switches. I had pretty much everything. Game Boy Advances, anything that you could think of. I was playing it at that time. So for me, gaming is pretty much just like you. You know, I was introduced to it because I had family members who were gamers themselves. So it was easy for me to catch. So what I want to ask you next is, so you are biracial, right? So you're black and white, if I'm not wrong. Am I?
Yeah, my mom's white, my dad's black.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. So growing up, how was that? Were you like too white for the black kids, too black for the white kids? You know, it's always something going on there. Like, so what's up with that?
That's exactly how that went. Like growing up, in school and everything, I didn't experience a lot of it. Like a lot of any racism or anything like that. But again, that's for one, there was a very small select of black kids in the schools that I went to. And obviously I was part of that little bunch of, you know, black kids and whatever. So regardless, I had to deal with what I had to deal with. You know, I made friends regardless. Are they still friends with me to this day? No. I mean, I have a, you know, childhood friend that I still communicate with on social media, but that's about it. But I think I started being like more of a lone wolf like towards the end of like middle school, starting high school, because like I really realized what I really loved doing, which was gaming. And I'm not gonna say I got bullied for it, but it was more of like the friends I had at the time like was frowned upon it. And I used to play like this MMO RPG growing up. I forgot like to really like how to pronounce it. It starts like it's like I think it was like a Korean game. It's like Mad Binoji or something like that. I would play that game religiously and my friends would like kind of make fun of me for it. And I kind of just started like being a lone wolf. Like whenever I come home from school, I would just like boot up my Wii and I would just start playing Legend of Zelda. That was like the game that I really coped with at the time. But hence why like it means so much to me now, because I realized that you might have to cut some people off because just because they're friends doesn't mean that they're good friends. And if they exactly. And I come to the realization that I'd rather just be alone than rather be surrounded by people who don't really rock with me. If you're gonna sit there and like make fun of like what I love, like why would I be around you, you know? So most of the time I didn't really go out to parties. I didn't really go out. I didn't really attend any high school parties or anything like that. Most of the time I would just stay at home and just game most of the time, or whatever the case may be, hang out with my like, did I actually hang out with friends? And I think about it. I think I did, but just definitely not a lot. Um, no, I do. Yeah, I do have a bunny. I've had her for 11 years since I was 15, and she's still kicking. She's still, running around and everything like that. So, I also had a dog, a husky. His name is Kai, and also a dog that passed away. Another husky. Her name is Sheba. But most of the time, like, I just kind of kicked it by myself and just played the video games. I'll hang out with friends here and there, but I had to cut off a lot of people because they didn't like what I was going with, what I loved, and they would kind of make fun of me for it. So it was kind of hard, like, expressing my love for it, because at the time, gaming wasn't really, what's the word?
Cool, popular, trending.
Trending, yes. Trending. Now it's a big freaking thing. It wasn't as trendy, especially for women, especially for black women. It wasn't very, like, a known thing to do. So, yeah.
I gotta ask now, this is kind of random as hell, but have you ever been in like any type of fight or any type of altercation? Like, I'm kind of curious about
Nope.
that now.
I never been into a fist fight. Never been to any fights. It was just kind of more like are you talking about like my friends? Is that what you mean?
Nah, I mean like in general.
Oh yeah, I never really got into any fights. It was more like disagreements. It was just kind of like, okay, cool, and then we just went our separate ways. It wasn't really like that big. Like obviously I cried and everything like that because it sucks. 'Cause I really felt like I was alone. But also like at the time, like I know we said we weren't gonna talk about love life, but like that's kind of like current. But back in the day, my high school sweetheart, he was kind of like my rock and like my only quote unquote friend that I had. So him and I would always hang out and always play games or whatever together. That's mainly the person I would hang out with every day, which got kind of toxic, um, but like actual friends, no, I didn't really get into any fights. Didn't really do anything like that. It was just more like disagreements and just went our separate ways. So, and I just continue doing what I love doing.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We're not gonna touch on anything, that we already spoke on prior. So most definitely to that, much respect. I want to ask you a question right now because currently you play Call of Duty and you said your favorite game is Zelda. So this is kind of interesting now. So when you were starting your content creation journey, what got you into just first person shooters? Like what all games were you playing? What did you like the most? And just tell
Right.
me a little bit of the background from that.
FPS for sure. Because I played Destiny 1, and also Overwatch. I played Skyrim. And I played Fortnite too at one point. But I think the biggest one was definitely Overwatch. So FPS, that was probably like my main thing because I don't know what it is. I just love, shooting things, whatever. It hits different. Yeah. hmm no, I recently decided that I wanted to actually get one because this world is very scary. I recently went shooting with a friend of mine. I'm here out in Arizona, and like here in Arizona, you can like open carry, which is cool. But I do actually want to start like taking classes and everything like that because with how the world is now and how scary it can be, especially with an attractive female, like I don't know what's going to happen, like, but I would like to start carrying, yes.
Nice. Love the confidence too. I guess my next question is, do you consider yourself to be more of a sensitive type of person?
Wait, say that last part again. A what?
Do you think you are a sensitive person?
Oh, sensitive? Sensitive as in, do you mean like blood and like glory? Not glory, but like blood and everything like that? Is that what you mean?
Oh, no, 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 no. Because earlier you were like, you had to cut people off and, if things didn't align,
Oh.
like you wanted to do this and they wanted to do that, or, people just grow different. And I'm not expecting you to be on some, we disagree to agree, but I still love you thing. But I'm not expecting you to say like, I hate you, yeah, care about me. But how do you feel? Like, what's your take on that? And how do you what's your opinion basically?
I would say it's still about the same, especially if it's about like with it's somebody I don't really like talk to or like hang out with, like I don't have like a true connection with, then it's more like oh, I don't give a fuck. But if it's somebody that I had a true like genuine relationship with or like a friendship, whatever the case may be, I'm gonna be hurt by it because I'm a lover girl. Whether if you were, my significant other, you're my best friend, you're a good friend of mine, you're close to me, excuse me, it still hurts to lose somebody that you invested into. And that just sucks, and like I don't think it's a bad thing to cry about it because we're all human at the end of the day and we all need to get out like our emotions and everything like that. I can be sensitive. So to answer your question, I would say like I can be sensitive depending on the relationship I have with that person.
Okay, T got a big heart. Okay, okay. Now, so I want to get back into the gaming conversation, right? Because I know earlier you said Zelda was your favorite game and whatnot. And, I've been following you on Twitch for a while now. And it's like, all I really see is first person shooters, which is cool and all, ain't nothing wrong with that. Of course, do whatever makes you happy. Will we ever be able to see like some Zelda playthroughs, or something just down the
Right.
line of you doing something now that you're partnered on Twitch? So can you touch on that and like let me know? Have you ever even live streamed Zelda on Twitch or anything like that? Like, how come I ain't never seen no content around your favorite game? Like, what's up?
Yeah, I played it. I played it when Breath of the Wild first came out, and then I got sucked back into Call of Duty.
Wow.
I mean, I beat like majority of the bosses. I just need to go to Hyrule and beat Ganon. But like with open world games like Breath of the Wild, like I want to explore everything. Like I want to get like all the shrines. I'm like one of the people that like to do like 100% Legend of Zelda games. I don't know what it is, but like seeing like your full health bar, full everything is just the most satisfying thing. And just being able to like really see the different type of weapons you can get in that game because it's very hard. I'm not gonna 100% Breath of the Wild because that game is humongous, but it's just but it's just I love open world games and just be able to get lost in it. And I think at one point where I streamed it for like over 12 hours and I got kind of like burnt out of it. That's probably why I went back to Call of Duty, but I would love to be able to stream Breath of the Wild again in the future for sure.
I would love to see you do that too, even if it doesn't go on like Twitch or whatnot, and you do like Let's Plays on YouTube or whatever the
Yeah,
case
for
may
sure.
be. Like that'll still be
Yeah.
dope to see that, and I know you'll do it really, really well. So let's go ahead and move into this next question because I want to know when you started doing the content creation part. And I guess I need to, provide that clarification because sometimes people would be like, man, I've been doing content creation for 10 years. And then I'll say, well, like, when did you
Hmm.
start getting serious about it though? Because sometimes people get into it and it's like, yeah, this is fun. Whoo, yeah, I made some friends. And then next time it's like, hold
Yeah.
on, bro. Like, whoa, I'm actually building a community now. I'm growing.
Yeah.
I'm doing all this cool stuff now. So it's like, whoo, I actually have
Hmm.
potential to be a full-time streamer or at least successful in this industry that we're in. So tell me about that.
When I first actually started like thinking like, oh, I can actually like do this, was when I I think it was a little bit after they came out with the affiliation program. I think it was 2017. I think. Where affiliates were able to get like subscriptions. It wasn't just like only to partners and stuff. So, and then my friend had allowed me to borrow his Alienware laptop so I can stream in more better quality than streaming off my PS4. And then I saved up enough money from my Twitch check and also from work and also from like donations and stuff to be able to get my first PC in 2018. And then I joined my first like gaming team, which was Northern Forces in 2018 as well. And that's when I was like, oh, like I can really become like something similar to OMG it's Firefox. Like, okay, I can actually like do this. Okay. Um I wasn't making, well, I kind of started making YouTube videos I think around like 2018, 2019. But I was just kind of like lost on like what to do and like how to go about it. So I try my best to like, do what I can. I didn't blow up or anything. I'm still only at like 2,000 subs on my main YouTube channel, almost to 3, but because I just didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like it was just kind of like okay, just throw like a YouTube video up there, like, oh, okay, whatever. But yeah, I would say around like 2018 was when I actually started to be like, oh, okay, I can really pursue in this. Okay, let's dive deeper into it.
Nice. So I know earlier you mentioned one person's name already, but outside of them, or even including them, if you want to say it again, were you watching other content creators, or who were you influenced by?
I would definitely have to say Kaylee, former face Kaylee, was also another big influence because I had known her since I was a sophomore in high school. So I've known her for a very, very long time. And, I'd watch her streams and stuff like that too. I would ask to like game with her and whatever. And she like just like really, she didn't, we didn't like talk too much or like too deep into it, but she was also just a really big influence on like what I wanted to do and like how to go about things and just keep doing what I'm doing, what I like, how I am now, So she was also another big person that I looked up to.
Oh, okay, nice. I know when it comes to like content creation, sometimes we have to find our niche or whatever, we have to find our personality, our character that we are going to present. I know when I started streaming, I was the loud black guy in the Pokemon community. People would just literally come to my stream to hear me be loud, talk about their Pokemon, say, "Oh man, you suck," da 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 da. Like my content back then was like pretty wild. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was a different breed back then in that Pokemon community. Like I was wilding for respect. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was disrespectful. But we grow and all that stuff. Blah 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 blah. So my question to you is, what was your personality like? Did you have to discover more about yourself in order to, present yourself to other people? Or were you already maintaining like your character that you are in real life
Right.
versus, and bringing it over, I should say, to the content creation industry? Tell me about that.
Oh, that's a good question. I would say I would say like the personality that I have on Twitch is more like energetic, is more like compassionate and stuff like that. Because there's times where, well, to be honest, I feel like I'm the kind of the same like on and off camera. So like energetic, compassionate, down to earth and everything like that too. Like I don't want to seem different on and off stream because I think that's kind of fake in my opinion. No offense, but I don't think it took me very long because I was just being myself. I was just being like who I am, like as a person that you would just like talk to in person and just be the same person on the camera. But I'll definitely say like more energetic vibes on camera than maybe in person. Obviously, depending like who you are and how close I am to you. But I think it kind of balances itself, like how I am in person, also like on camera. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So my next question is to you is, what is the hardest part about content creation, right? Because like you've been in the game for a long time now. You've been streaming on Twitch for like 8 years.
Yes, I've been on Twitch for 8 years.
Yeah, so being on Twitch for 8 years, what has been the most toughest or hardest thing about it?
I think the hardest part is one, being creative. Two, not getting lost in the numbers. I think is the hardest part, and I think a lot of people would say like the finance part. But if I feel like if you had different avenues of income, it wouldn't really be a problem. But I understand why some people would say that. But I think just being lost in the numbers, thinking if you're good enough or not. Oh, like what do I need to change in order to get more viewers? Like what do I need to change about certain, like how I post things, algorithm and everything like that stuff too. And just like feeling, I think the biggest thing is like not feeling enough, and you feel that numbers really define you as a content creator. I think that's probably the hardest part, because everybody talks about numbers and everything like that, and like you feel like since you're not like on that avenue, you feel like you're not succeeding. And I understand that mindset a lot, because I went through that. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this, and it's rough. A lot of people don't think that it's, oh, you just click the live button, that's it. And no, it's not just you just click the live button. It's a lot more than that, but definitely numbers have probably be the biggest or the hardest part about content creation as a whole.
Oh yeah, I can feel you on that one. With you being a Black woman, I definitely want to get your opinion on how you feel about like right now, because you got OnlyFans, Fansly, the negative stuff that come around where people just target Black gamers or just women gamers in general, So what is the gaming space for you like now?
It's scary. Because a lot of people just think that you're only in it just for the money. And if you are, listen, I am not going to bash you on it, get your bread and everything, but it also makes it hard for women who want to pursue in this and want to do better in it. It's harder for us to make a name for ourselves, because it's been tampered, I guess you can say that, tampered with, and it sucks. I personally don't have too much of the bad side of it, because sometimes I just see things on the internet and I just keep my mouth shut. And I personally think, to save my anxiety and to save, myself to needing to explain anything or anything like that, I just keep my mouth shut if I'm going to be completely transparent. I know it's probably not the best thing to do, but at the end of the day, it's just the internet, and a lot of these people just say things just to say things to get a reaction. And I don't think that's worth my anxiety, and I don't think it's worth getting worked up upon. And because at the end of the day, I'm here to entertain, and I'm here to, inspire and create. And I don't think there's a point in me trying to, what's the word I want to say? I don't think there's really a point of me trying to, be on the bad side of things when I'm trying to make a positive impact. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, you have a platform, you should be doing this. I'm sorry. Last time I checked, this is my platform, not yours. So you can say whatever you want to say about that. That's cool. You can talk about it if you want to talk about it. I'm saving my mental health and my anxiety, so I'm not on edge all fucking day. That's me. You're not me. You're you. Cool, awesome, spectacular. We're two different people. And I know a lot of people are not going to like that, but that's just my reality. Your reality is different from mine, and that's completely fine. But I think, right, and I think I do have the more positive side of being, I don't have really much of like a negative, like, I don't really get a lot of negative feedback when it comes to being a girl in the gamer space, but I do see it a lot. And it sucks, especially like in the Valorant community. Like, I stay away from that community. Oh, like, I don't want to indulge that at all. It is terrible. I like just the amount of clips I see on Twitter about like somebody being misogynistic or racist or saying some disgusting things. Like, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't. And
Okay, I mean, you play COD. You in a whole toxic community right there, though.
Yeah, and like obviously, Call of Duty has it bad, especially Search and Destroy. Obviously, yes, they all have it bad, but I think like Valorant has it the worst. See,
I think Valorant get clipped more. I mean, I think it's all bad in them first-person shooter communities, but you got to just play with your friends and really do your own thing.
I played Valorant during the beta, but it wasn't really my cup of tea. Like, it's just really slow. I don't like slow games.
Yeah, dying and whatnot, and then having to wait to be revived and all that good stuff. Yeah, I can see what you mean.
I mean, like, I just want to be able to make a positive impact, especially like people of like women of color. Like, I want to let them know, like, hey, if I can make it in the space, like, you can too. And I want to just be able to make a positive impact. And because I don't think there's really a point of indulging in the negative side, because that's what people thrive off of. And I don't want that.
Yeah, people love negative energy. They love negative spaces. And, negativity really goes viral. But, being how you build your community plays a big part into it. And on top of that, I think it's more so along the lines of what you do. So that's good. So for you, you don't see a lot of the negativity like in your streams or whatnot.
No, it's actually really low for me. And I think it's just also like what's the word I want to say? How I present myself on the internet might be the reason why. But of course, there's always gonna be that one person like, hey, like you gotta OnlyFans. There's always gonna be that one person, And obviously, like I don't bash, anybody who does OnlyFans. Like you get your you get your bag, however way you want to do it, but it will never be a thing with me. Is I don't want it to bite my ass later in my future, and then I just don't think it's a good thing to indulge in, me personally. But if that's what you want to do, hey, you live your best life, I'll support you from afar. But you get your bread, girl. Like, get your bread off of these horny ass men on the internet, because remember, it's them that what's the word I want to use, it's them that endorses it, because they're lonely, they don't have anything, and women just thrive off of it. So I support it. So I mean, like,
nah, most definitely on that. But I mean, people got OnlyFans and do different stuff. Have you ever thought about doing one and like posting like your gym content on there?
no, because the last thing I want to do is to somehow get into some weird ass argument on Twitter, and then someone be like, ho ho, you have OnlyFans, ho ho. I'm just like, okay. You know what I mean? It's just like they think that OnlyFans is only for sexual content, but it's not. It can be for different type of things. Maybe you can. There's different. I know there's Patreon, or like I think Patreon is something else, and that you can also like use it as something else that isn't OnlyFans to promote certain things. But I rather not. Like, plus
passes or something.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't feel very good about like selling like certain pictures of myself. I don't know. I don't like the idea of it. I think it's kind of weird. Cause like, what if I have kids and they see that in the future or something? I don't like that. And my dad would not be very proud of me either. So no, I'm good. I'm okay.
Nah, I feel you on that one. But I wanted to ask this earlier, but I'm going to get it in right now, because you are posting your gym content, as you said previously, and that's just something that you're doing. And I'm going to say your consistency, everything that you're doing right now with the gym workouts and the gym videos that you're doing, fantastic. Like, it's really for people who are, working on themselves. This is inspiring for them. What started you on this journey?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've always been an active kid growing up. Like, I was always like indulged within like being, it's indulged I want to use, like being a part of, I'll say being a part of like sports, or like, PE, like playing certain sports in middle school. In high school I did track for my freshman year. Then I kind of realized that like this isn't really for me. I thought it was. I love watching like track and field, like during the Olympics. Oh, I love watching it. There's something about it that's just like so awesome. But I just didn't really see myself going further in it. So
yeah, I know why. You was out there slow, huh? You can tell the truth about it.
Maybe, I don't know, but it's just like it just wasn't for me. So I always like staying active, because for one, it's always good for your body, to your mental health as well, which is really, really important. And I also love dancing. So I was on the dance team for about 2 years. And it's just like the fact of like just being, excuse me, I burped. Just being active, just like it does something to you, and it just feels amazing. And like I think it was the end, the ending of my senior year, which is like when, when you stop, doing sports and everything like that, I still wanted to be active, but obviously all the sports were ending. So I'm just kind of sitting here like, okay, what do I do now? Like, do I start going to the gym or something? Just like keep my body like in shape and everything. So it's always been, I've always been active and everything like that growing up. And I also just didn't like certain parts of my body. I've always had like a body image issue, for a very long time. And, I wanted to change that. I'm still, going through it. I compare a lot, and that's what happens when you're in the fitness industry. You're on the fitness side of social media. You compare a lot. But I also want to, like, obviously keep myself level-headed with the amount of stress that comes with, working, content creation, and all other things that I do on the daily basis. Because if I don't work out, I will crumble. I will absolutely crumble. And yeah, it's a huge stress reliever, and it just feels good to like feel good in your skin, knowing that you can lift them out of certain like weight and everything, and just feel powerful, and be empowering. And like, at one point in my life, I was very low, and to be able to do this and like feel empowering, it's really different. And I think just like the biggest thing is, being comfortable in your skin, because you only have one body. You're not able to, customize it like freaking GTA or anything like that. Like, you can't customize your body.
Yeah, the hell you can, BBLs.
I mean, okay, like you can, like, BBLs and everything like that, but I'd rather spend that money on a house, not to having to keep up with it every so years and spend amounts amount of money just to impress somebody else when I'm not even impressed with it myself.
Oh, okay. Well, could you see yourself being a personal trainer?
No, I mean maybe down the line, yes, but right now, no, because I don't have time to train anybody. I'm gonna be completely transparent. When I'm at the gym, I'm there to work out and leave. I'm not there to train anybody. But maybe in the future, like down the line, I think that'd be really cool to get into and like just help people. But I just hope that the content that I do put out, about me doing like my pull-ups recently or my dips and stuff like that, yeah, or like posting me on Instagram and whatever the case may be, or like my YouTube channel, I just hope that it does inspire people to keep going with their fitness journey, and to help them realize like, hey, like, I can do all this shit on the daily basis, but I'm still making time for the gym, because that is something called discipline, and also self-love. And that's, going to the gym is part of self-love. And I think a lot of people, the reason why they're so sad and depressed is because they stay inside all day and they don't do anything, and they're not active. And, they wonder why they're so negative, and why they don't, maybe have, I might be tugging on some heartstrings here, but they wonder why, like, they don't feel attractive. They don't feel good about themselves. They feel ugly. They this and that. It's because they don't have self-love. Like, if you don't have self-love, you can't expect that from other people, because you're going to get disappointed every time. So invest in yourself. And that's why I love going to the gym, because you are investing in yourself. You're growing in different ways, mentally, emotionally, physically. And it's such a beautiful thing to like look back at like your pictures, like your progress pictures, and realize like how far you've come. You might not be like where you want to be right now, but you're on the path to where you want to be. And that's such a beautiful thing to know.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, because what I was going to say is, because it's like, it's always good to see the progress, when you're seeing the results that you want, you're putting in the work, the dedication, doing what you got,
Yes.
T on the grind, and it's awesome.
Yes.
But what about those days where it's like, man, I don't want to be here, this is a tough day for me. What about those days?
Yeah, I've experienced a few of them, this week, and like one last week, where last week I went to the gym to do leg day, and I was just tired. Like, I did 2 sets. I laid on the ground. I was like, I'm not doing this today. Like, I just can't. The mind and muscle connection is not there. So I at least, walked on the treadmill for about like 20 minutes and I left. At least I did something, and at least I went. And that's like the biggest thing, is that a lot of people can't even get up and go. So the fact that I still went still speaks volume. Like, and also this week I cried at the gym. I was crying doing deadlifts as well because I was, you know, going through some stuff, but I still went because it still made me feel good, you know. And like, I don't think it's a bad thing to cry at the gym either, because I know a lot of people that cry at the gym, and it's personally becoming my favorite place to cry at, because like, I don't know how to like really explain it, but it's comforting. And it's kind of weird, but it's just kind of like, okay, I'm crying, but like, I'm still gonna get like this nice juicy pump though, like, you know, at the same time. But it's okay to also like not even go to the gym, like to take a break from the gym. Like, it's important to take breaks from things that you love too. Like, take a break from streaming, take a break from YouTube, take a break from going to the gym, because there's times where like I took a break from the gym for like 2 weeks because it just wasn't hitting. I was like, dude, I don't want to fucking go. Like, like, in order to, it's okay to take breaks in order to feel inspired again. And that's okay. You know, whatever the case may be, like, it's okay to take breaks too. Cause I think something that always, that spoke to me when I saw this is that in order for you to be creative, you have to take breaks. You have to let your brain relax in order to have that, creative, cognitive thoughts in order to be inspired again. So taking breaks is very, very important in any avenue of work that you do.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know for me, like out of a week, maybe 2 days for me.
That's okay. That's okay. Like, if when people think that you have to go to the gym like every day, like, yo, 2 or 3 times a week, you're golden. That's okay. That's good.
Yeah.
You're more than most.
Yeah. For real. I don't think a lot of people understand the how fast the brain got to move when you're doing this content creation, right? Like, your mind is just moving. You have to always be on your P's and Q's. You got to be checking out what's going on, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, what you're going to do, when, because the timing is always important about it. And like, that's the most frustrating part about it. Like, you really got to execute it to the best of your ability, because even as a content creator, if you do it, you know, at the wrong time, it can mess you up in the long run. So it's really tough from that aspect. And I know for me personally, when it just comes to content creation, you know, just staying on your P's and Q's is just one of the things you need to do. So my question to you is, you got a TikTok, a Twitch, I think you got multiple YouTube channels, and well, I think you got an IRL YouTube channel. Yeah. So I'm kind of curious about how has the content been going on for you on that platform? Like, how are you able to maintain your content? Are you consistent?
For that particular channel right now, I have not been consistent with it, just because there's been so much traveling and, you know, trying to get myself back on like my routine and everything. So it's been a little bit tough, but I like to use that channel to be able to show like my life outside of gaming, because I think we're really going to this direction of gaming is kind of going downhill, but people love like, you know, fitness stuff, IRL stuff, because they're a little bit nosy, you know what I mean? And just being also to like show people like what you're experiencing too, which I think is really, really cool. I do have some videos lined up to be edited. They just need to be edited. But but I love being able to show like that side of my life and everything like that, because not everything is about just gaming, and not everything, like, I think a lot of people don't, like, they really don't understand like what content creation is. It's not just gaming. It can be a whole bunch of different things that you want. It could be cooking, it could be business, it can be cars, it can be Pokemon cards. Like, there's so many different avenues when it comes to content creation. It's insane. It can be cosplaying, gym, it can be traveling, and like, and I also think that a lot of brands love seeing things outside of just like the box of just gaming. Like, people, they love seeing like what else you can do as a content creator than just sit on your ass and just game. And also, I also just love, like, it's a different type of like inspiration and like love when it comes to editing like IRL content. I don't know what it is, how to explain it, but it's fun. It's relaxing. You're not like stressing over like, oh my God, is this like a good clip to post? Oh my God, like how many likes will I get on this post if I post this freaking, squad wipe, whatever the case may be, because gaming is also very saturated, when it comes to IRL, like you're talking, like this is your story about you and what you're doing, and I think that's really cool, and just be able to express like that side of your life to your community. So I love it.
So let's talk about it. Your partnership, right? So I know for me, got denied, and I seen you get denied too. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it really does.
Right.
But when you finally get that email,
yeah,
go ahead and walk me through that moment.
So I applied for a Twitch partnership on June 14th. And what people were saying is that like, or I'll say they changed the requirements a lot. So like now the requirement is you have to average 75 viewers organically for 8 days within a 30-day period. So I'm looking at my analytics. I'm like, okay, from the beginning of May to like maybe around like June 14th, I'm like, okay, it says I have a 95 average. I should be okay. Like I should apply. So I applied, so I think after like 3 days, I didn't hear a response. I'm like, okay, this is a good sign, because usually they come back really quickly if you get denied, unfortunately. And I don't know how many times I applied. It's a little bit off topic, but I applied like just randomly, just see if I could just like randomly get it. Cause sometimes that actually works, where like you apply and then they just accept you. I'm just kind of like, okay, what? But kudos to you if that's happened to you. So then after, wait, actually look at the calendar. It was the 14th. So it was 10 days. So then after, the 21st, the next week, I was kind of like, okay, it's been like over a week now. This should be a good thing that I've not heard anything from them. And then I was driving home, driving to the gym on the 24th of June, and I go to like change like the song that I was driving, or change the song or whatever while I was driving, and I just see an email pop up saying like, congratulations, you've been invited to Twitch partnership. And I started just flipping out in my car. I called my friends and everything immediately, and I started like just shake. I started just crying, and like I just went ballistic. Like I still feel like I'm on fucking cloud nine. It's been over a week, and because it's such a huge, I don't care what anybody has to say. Oh well, you don't get this, or you don't get that. Like, can you shut up? Like, I'm sorry, but getting Twitch partnership is way harder than getting partnered on YouTube, because YouTube, you can clickbait shit and you can get the viewership pretty easily. Like, obviously everybody's journey is different, but like trying to average 75 people and entertain 75 people and bringing people into your streams is so much harder. And to make sure that you're entertaining, you're posting your content so people can come through and like watch your streams and everything like that from the piece of content that you posted, that shit is 10 times harder than YouTube, in my opinion.
No, I can see what you're saying right there, because YouTube, the content will just live on forever and it has a chance to go viral. But once you turn your webcam off and OBS is off, that's pretty much a done deal. What you did that day is what you did for that day. So it's like, you just gotta keep trying and trying and trying, and you gotta have your energy up all the time. You gotta make sure that what you're doing, you gotta be streaming at the right time. The game, you gotta know, you really gotta be aware of everything that's going on when you start diving into streaming. I definitely think streaming is tougher to do than actual YouTube content, but I think, YouTube does have its side where it can be challenging too as well, of course, like any goal.
But I think that Twitch partnership is a huge accomplishment. Obviously, it sucks that you don't get a plaque. I know they recently came out with this thing of like, oh, if you have a certain amount of like watch time or whatever, you get that.
Yeah, I ain't nowhere near that.
Yeah. But it's a huge accomplishment. It should be celebrated, I'm still cloud nine about it because I've been wanting this for years. And
I'm just so happy for you that you were able to get partner. And a lot of people need to appreciate just being able to do it too, because it was
you
something
did
you
it.
did. Exactly. It was something that you did. This is a goal of
Right.
yours. This is something that you can achieve. This is the
Right.
recognition that you deserve. It's more than just saying, oh, what comes with it? What are the
Exactly.
perks? This is more so about, hey, you put the time in, the energy, the money, the
Mm-hmm.
resources, everything, and you were able to get the goal that you wanted. You didn't
Exactly.
stop and you made it and you accomplished what you needed. So
Right.
kudos to them.
And it's also the fact of like, you don't, because with Twitter, you have to pay for your check mark. With this, like, I'm not paying for shit. Like, I got this from my hard work and dedication. Like, that's an accomplishment because being verified, that shit is hard. And like, I can't stand when people are like, oh, the reason why, what's the point of Twitch partnership? Oh, blah, blah, blah. And I remember somebody posting this on Twitter saying like, oh, why is somebody like, what's the point of Twitch partnership anyways? Oh, because of mostly ego. It's just like, mostly ego is the most dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. Like, nah, you're weird for that. You're really weird for that. Like, can people not have their own goals and accomplish them how they want to accomplish them? Like, what do you mean by ego? And I get it. Like, there are a lot of perks that were taken away from Twitch partnership, which sucks, but it's still an accomplishment regardless. Like, don't let anybody water like down what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, and like how you want to go about it, because it's still an accomplishment at the end of the day.
Right on, right on, right on. Where I want to go to next is, now that we are here, how has networking been for you? Is it easy for you to mingle with others? Do you stay to yourself? Like, what is your preferred method of content creation? Or I guess I should say, how well do you do when it comes to networking?
I would say networking, being a woman has its perks. I will definitely say that, because most of the time, a pretty light skin asking, oh my God, you want to play Call of Duty with me? Oh, I bet they go fucking ballistic. And for me, it's pretty easy, with, I will say, like, playing with other women, though, it feels a little bit harder just because, well, people don't want to hear this, but women are constantly in competition with each other, and it kind of sucks because you're just like, well, I just want to play in games with you, and there's a constant thing of like wanting to be the better gamer girl thing, and it's kind of weird. And like, I feel like a lot of women in this space don't support each other, and they're like, and it's also contradicting of like, oh, women should support each other, but it's just like, well, you don't even support the women that you follow. What do you mean by that? Which I think is very weird. And I think like there are a very small select of women that I do love playing with, which is great. Networking can be kind of annoying because it's just like, you got your time zones, you got what days you're on, and blah 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 blah, and A, B, C, and D, and to even see if like y'all are even compatible. Just as a little bit of a side note, but if anybody, content creator, whoever, anybody watching this, please watch their content before you ask to collab with them, because the amount of times that I've had people ask me to collab with them and it was just weird and awkward, or like, I have a certain sense of humor, and if you don't pick up on it, it's not gonna work. It's gonna be weird, it's gonna be awkward. So please watch who you want to collab with first before you want to ask them, hey, do you want to play some games, please. But I love playing with people. I love playing with new people. Like, it's great. It's honestly a great time. I make a goal for myself to at least, reach out to, 3 to 5 new content creators a month. Because playing with the same people is cool, but like, in order to grow also as a content creator, you have to collab. I know a lot of people don't want to say that, but in order to, get yourself up there like how you want to, and also, play with and like grow yourself, you have to collab with people. And that's just how business works. And I don't think a lot of people, they don't see this as a business. They just see it as, oh, I want to play with people. And it's just like, which is fine too, but like, if you don't look at this as a business, you're not gonna grow. You know what I mean? But that's all right. I love networking though. It's fun. It's a little bit complicated, but it is fun at the end of the day.
Yeah. Are you planning on doing anything different?
Like, more content wise, or?
Yeah, now that you're partnered, are we going to see you step out of your zone, your comfort zone of COD and do different things? I know people get partnered and say, "Hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z now," and you got different channels doing throwback maybe on the Switch or
Yeah, they
like
switch.
yeah, like playing Zelda. Zelda was on there, Wind Waker.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Right. I think I will admit, Call of Duty has been in a weird state for me, especially during like season 3 when they had the freaking Tonfas, and I was just kind of like, I don't want to play this. So I was like, okay, let me see what happens if I jump into something else. And Kai was on it, and then playing Elden Ring, and I fell in love with Elden Ring very, very much. And I want to continue playing obviously Call of Duty and also Elden Ring, but I also want to get into like playing Legend of Zelda on stream more. I want to start playing like even like Apex Legends and stuff like that, because and I also love X-Define. I'm looking at my computer right now. Like I love X-Define. I don't care what anybody says, but I also feel like me going in different directions with my content has also helped me get partnered, because there's only so much Call of Duty that you can do at times. But like I remember my mods were telling me when I played Apex for the first time in years back in like April, they're like, yeah, like you peaked at like 80 viewers with no like hosts. I was like, what? Like, and I think that's like so cool, especially when you have a tight community that will support you whatever you want to do, and then you also have a genuine connection with your community, and they always recommend you, like saying, oh, play Apex, I'll play this. And when they see you play your favorite game, they will go crazy. And I want to, yeah, so I definitely more Elden Ring. I want to start playing like I have like a lot of content that I need to upload. Like I want to do like an Apex highlight video, content warning video. I've been uploading X-Defiant on my 2.0 channel. And I also want to upload a video of me playing, because I played Elden Ring for 24 hours once, and I want to upload like a highlight video on that. I think that would be pretty fun. And I want to hop into that again. I think that'd be fun. And just like, I don't want to play ranked, because I don't want to play ranked on there. I really don't. But it's just like fucking around and shit. I think that'd be like a lot of fun to do in Overwatch for sure with my homies. I have a few of them that are like, oh my god, when are you gonna play Overwatch? I'm just like, I don't know yet, but I want to definitely dive into that for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I would love to play Overwatch with you if you do come to it. What advice would you give to any girl gamer who wants to get into content creation?
Just do it. Like, if fuck what anybody has to say, fuck the internet. If they talk some shit about women in the gaming, blah 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 blah, fuck them. There's a mute button and also a block button for a reason. Ask questions, reach out to other female content creators. Like my DMs are always open. Like please, if you have any questions when it comes to like, oh, how do we go about this, or how does this look, ask questions. Like take notes from people. Do it, because the last thing that you want to do is regret anything in life. And I told myself when I came back from when I moved back from Washington after a breakup, I told myself I don't want any regrets, and regrets, and just a full send everything, because last thing that you want to do is look back at your 20s and be like, damn, I wish I could have done that. Damn, I wish I did this. Damn, I wish I did that. And like, that's why it's so cool. A little bit off topic. That's why it's so cool that I get invited to like all these COD events. It's because there's not a lot of people, like when I go to these COD events, there's not a lot of people that look like me there. There's not a lot of like light skins or like black women that are in these scenes, and I'm so happy to be part of it, because I'm representing people that think that they can't do it, but they can. And I'm part of that. I'm part of that point, like that 1% that's in this shit, and it makes me so sad that there's not a lot of women that everybody wants to stream, but they're not creating content. It's just like, get off your ass and do it. There's YouTube, you have friends, you have other content creators that you can resource from to create your content that you want to create. Like, and they wonder why they don't get brand deals. They wonder why they don't get certain opportunities. They wonder why they're not, thriving with certain partnerships. It's because they're not putting themselves out there with their full potential. And that's like the biggest thing that I can ever tell anybody. To start making content from your streams. Ask your mods to start clipping things. record every single game that you have, so you can look back on it. Like, you know, there are so many shortcuts and everything like that, and how to edit your stuff. Like Twitch just came out with a freaking extension that you could literally make short form content on, and they'll do it for you. There are so many different avenues and like things to do, and I need my ladies to start doing it. Get off your ass, stop expecting handouts, and do it. Yeah, you're pretty and shit, but you need to put some effort into your craft. Like, come on, I need that from you. And then they sit here and cry about how they don't get opportunities. And it's just like, well, you're shooting yourself in the foot. I don't know what to tell you. And, you know, a lot of women don't want to hear that, but it's just like, well, this is what you need to hear. And then, like, yeah. So I don't know. Then they wonder why they just don't strive or thrive in this industry. It's just like, well, you're kind of doing it to yourself. So I don't know how else to help you unless you don't ask.
Before we get out of here, where can we find you?
No, you're good. So Twitter is just LegendOfTi. And then also Instagram, LegendOfTi. TikTok is a little bit weird because I'm not able to take the underscore out of it anymore. I'm not able to take it out. But it's LegendOf_T. I have 3 YouTube channels. There's a T Rose Lifestyle, and then there's LegendOfTi, which is the main one, and then there's LegendOfTi 2.0, and obviously Twitch LegendOfTi, and then also Kick LegendOfTi, or LegendOf_T, since I'm not partnered on there yet. But yeah, just LegendOfTi on everything. So
yeah. No underscore on Twitter. You heard what I said. We got partnered and we removed the underscore on all social medias. Well, the ones we could. So you know what it is, bro. Nah, but seriously though, I definitely want to go ahead and give you your flowers. I just want to let you know that you have been doing an amazing job on your journey in content creation. I appreciate the content that you do. I think the journey that you're doing through the gym is inspiring to others, and I know other people are looking at you and they are, you know, going to the gym and just wanting to be better themselves after seeing you and your gaming content. I definitely believe that you would be successful in whatever avenue you take, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, anything that you want to do. You'll be successful because you just are very diligent, very consistent, and you believe in yourself. Your confidence is unmatched, and I just want to let you know, from one content creator to another, I really do believe in you, and I wish you the best throughout your journey. Yeah.
Thank you.
Most definitely.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. Well, any last thing that you would like to say?
Just don't give up. That's all I have to say.
All right. And there it is, y'all. Peace.